innovation has always been an important part in effective IT systems. Is that what are you doing to have innovative systems and solutions today that can help operationally in defense?
Absolutely, and I think we can never, have less of innovation, specifically in the pace at which things are moving around us. And again, I will break it down into two parts: the planning and execution aspect of it. Let's talk execution first. I think it's very important that the diverse environment in which our Army and Air Force and the Department of Defense in general operates has all the offline capability to be able to still be able to manage, capture the data, and then be able to manage those systems and their aircraft and fly those missions. So having, as an example, offline systems that can provide that capability. On the planning end, I believe, with the advancement in artificial intelligence and machine learning, be able to use that data and be able to combine the condition-based maintenance with the historical forecasting and be able to create a much more richer predictive maintenance, and the supply chain is critical part of the innovation that is required, and I think we believe that we bring to the table as well.
Yeah, so let me flip that over to you, Bob, and say that, I know that in the past you've said that with our large fleets that we have, and when we make changes and implementations in the fleets, that can be quite a challenge to be able to do implementations. What does the role of innovation have in our ability to be able to cost effectively implement, for operations out there today?
Well, we've been pretty successful in innovating across the operational capabilities. In aviation, you look at the aircraft today compared to the aircraft of yesterday. So our innovation and the culture of innovation is alive and well. What it hasn't done is been innovative in the supply chain, the back office support. We haven't been as innovative, or the innovation's there, the implementation is not. And it's been the priorities of the supply system over or equal to the operational system that we're deploying has not been consistent. So right now, the implementation on the supply side lags the innovation and implementation of the operational side. And that's the key. It's time that we must innovate and then implement that innovation across our supply chain to keep pace with the innovation of our operational force.
Yeah, so with such a large, force, such a large set of forces in the U.S., any changes that are made, I would imagine that they become quite challenging and difficult. They become expensive. And so I would think, Manoj, that having the ability to be able to innovatively create implementation plans or solutions or different approaches to be able to do implementation become one of the keys to success for innovative deployment that really remains to be cost effective.
Yeah, and I think it all boils down to the whole the prototype approach that you have to take the innovations to the field, right? And there's a well-defined process to that, 13 weeks, 16 weeks, where you take one idea and then create something out of it, take it to the field, test it, prove it, and then start the whole cycle again, right? So that's important, the speed of conducting those prototypes, testing it and validating it, and then moving on. Absolutely.
Yeah, for many, many years, it's always been my opinion that the faster that you can implement something, the higher probability it has of being successful. And what I mean by that is that so many factors change over time that, by the time you implement something, if it takes too long, the requirements could have changed or the operational needs could have changed. And so there's this balance between fast and effective, that has to happen together. But the bottom line is that if it takes too long to implement, too many things change and sometimes it fails.